I'll most frequently get, we need to think it over, we have to check our budget, it may have been a little bit more than I thought. To me, that is all the same response. It is simply an excuse. It's not an objection. What that person has said to me is, Michael, you haven't sold me, so I'm going to bide more time, okay, because I don't want to say directly to you, you're not sold, okay? So at that particular point, when I'm now ready to overcome the objection, the first thing in my mind is this: Michael, you haven't done your job. You need to resell them. Now, out of respect, I take the following steps. Number one, I have to acknowledge what they've said, and I have to appreciate what they said. So I understand that, Mr. Jones. I could appreciate this is something you would potentially need more time to discuss. And the third point in my mind is the biggest point. After I've appreciated it and acknowledged it, for the rest of the time, I ignore it. Because now I have to, my job now is to resell the features and benefits of my project, okay? The person has said to me, I'm not completely sold, okay? Well, if they said that to me, I wouldn't sit there trying to convince them they can afford it or that they need more time to think it over. They're not sold because I haven't done my job. So at that point, I go right back into my presentation. I go right back into reselling the features and benefits and product, okay? Because for the last couple of minutes, we were forced to discuss money. Well, money is a downer as compared to the rest of the presentation. So their level of enthusiasm may have dropped. I now have to bring it right back up to offset the discussion of cost. So I resell the materials, I get them enthused again. For example, if I'm selling a kitchen, I'll bring them right back into the kitchen. I just want to check, was this the corner that we redesigned? Was this the area you wanted to roll out so it's easier for you to get the pots and pans? So I'm getting them back in that level of enthusiasm where they were before. Once I sense that, okay, I don't keep talking, I don't go on and on and on. I go right for my reclose at that point. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, again, would you prefer handling this in 2 payments, or what most of our families do, handle it on a monthly basis?
The objection I hear the most is, I need to think about it. I usually overcome that objection by dealing with it up front with the question, how long have you been thinking about this project? Whether if it's been a day, a week, a month, or a year, or whatever, I try to get them to say, this is how long we've kind of been tinkering with it, so that at the end of our time, if I come up to, well, we still need to think about it, I refer back to, remember when you told me you've been thinking about it a week, a month, a year, whatever the case may be.
I need 3 quotes. Okay. Absolutely, absolutely. Throughout the entire presentation, you want to, without pointing fingers or bad-mouthing or saying specific names, my opinion anyways, is kill the competition throughout the entire process, right? And by the end of it, hopefully they have enough confidence in Sears where that 3 quotes went out the window somewhere between the beginning, middle, or end of that happens. Me personally, there's a part on page 4 of the presentation where it shows a little iPad, and it's the one that asked, you know, is Sears a company feel comfortable doing business with? You like the products and warranties? Does it fit your budget? I make a joke. I mean, it could be, maybe it's not for everybody, but if you're disarming enough and you have the right customer in front, I'll make a joke early on and say, you know, after that, I want you to keep these questions in mind, and we're going to bring it up at the end. And then I laugh and say, you know, I don't know who brought up the idea of having 3 quotes needed, but if the project fits your budget, you like the product and trust the company and everything, and then, you know, why follow this made-up rule? It's a hassle, it's a headache, and a lot of times you'll get them agreeing with you right off the bat. Even if they planned on having 3 quotes, you'll notice that they'll start, oh yeah, haha. And that kind of, almost in a way, if they remember that, because I'm going to bring it up at the end again. Now remember we talked about this at the beginning. Now they're going to think, wow, it's going to be foolish if I send you 3 quotes. So it almost kills it from the beginning, because that's about 30% of the business is that question.